did a jingle for them, and I handled their advertising. And one week we'd be in the newspaper, the Press Journal, and then the next week we'd do radio. This is before I had a radio show. And then we do the Press Journal, and we did that every other week. And all of a sudden there was an accident one week that we were in the paper and on the air at the same time. And she said the results were amazing. Well, I read in his book, he said, when you combine print with electronic media, boom, it quadruples your response. Not doubles it, quadruples it.
And that's what you do.
Well, that's what we attempt to do now.
And people's most often comment about your magazine is what?
Number one comment, which is really a great applause, and that is this, and they say it to Barbara, the editor-in-chief, they say it to me, they say it to everybody involved, yours, there are a lot of magazines in town, but yours is the only one I actually read cover to cover. And
Cover to cover?
Yeah.
Why is that? The content?
I think it's the content, which I have very little to do with. Except for I have one interview a month with a celebrated individual, and then I came up with the idea of we have Brenda, who goes to the street most times. Once in a while it's been me. Most of the time she goes to the street. She'll interview people at the post office or over by Walmart or over on the beach at John's Island and ask the question of the month. What's your favorite color? What's your favorite movie of all time? How did you meet the love of your life for Valentine's Day?
What do they call this?
Man on the street side.
Oh, man.
They have a name for it. Voices of Vero.
Uh-huh.
Voices of Vero.
And who is Brenda?
Brenda is a reporter who also works for another publication, the Press Journal in town, and they've been very gracious. She went to her authorities and said, "Can I do this?" And they said, "Sure."
That's great.
So yeah, so we have a very good working relationship with the Press Journal now.
But truly, you're the voice of Vero because you feature local events. You do a lot with the local events.
Yeah, local.
Like this brand new cover of John Walsh's son on the cover. In the riding a polo pony. It's an extraordinary photograph. Who did that photograph?
Gail Damien. And Gail Damien is a superb photographer. We've used her on multiple occasions. And she's out there and she's personal friends with Mr. Walsh, as I am too. And she hangs out at his ranch out west of town. And we knew she was the one we wanted to call for this special cover. And it's been very, very well received.
Well, that's a wonderful cover. I'm sure that John Walsh would love to have that hanging in his.
I believe he's already requested for the photograph, I guess, to be framed.
So it's professional in every way.
Thank you.
Now you need graphic artists. You need to corral a bunch of people to put this thing together, didn't you?
Yeah, our head graphic artist, of course, is Sandy Carlisle. It took us a few years to find her. She's been with us, I think, 4 years now, maybe 5. But Sandy lives down south of here. She was the charge of graphic design for the Palm Beach Post for 17 years.
Wow.
So she really knows what she's doing, and it's evident in your magazine.
Yeah, she is. She's just amazing. And to boot, she is, and you know this, Kathy Cooper's her. She is lovely to work with.
She's a wonderful person.
I have a crush on her.
Writers.
Oh, yeah.
And you have local writers who contribute?
Yep. Yeah, we don't do reprints from other newspapers and magazines around the globe. Everything is not repeated. Even if we have like a Stanford Erickson, former White House correspondent, if he writes something, let's say it's on Trump, and he has something in the newspaper, well, we won't accept the same one. He can do one for us, but it has to be different than the one he did for the Press Journal, you know. So.
And captions are very difficult to capture a scene. A caption like "The Game of Kings comes to Vero" on your front page. That's a great caption.
Oh, I had nothing to do with it.
Well, who does?
I would say number one would be Barbara, and then Sandy. Those two work. When we're getting close to deadline, literally, I'm not exaggerating, 18 to 20-hour days. Sometimes it worries me because, you know, she's healed now, still healing from chemo brain, and of course having stage 4 cancer. Right at this point, she is totally cancer-free, and Dr. McGarry is her local.
A lovely person.
But I get worried about it though, because people don't realize the deadline. That's what it's different than radio. You know, I could come to you. I want to buy an ad on your show. I could say I need it, and you could put it on by the end of the show. You could do an ad, or you could put it on, you know, tomorrow or whatever. Whereas with print, it's on national magazines, you have to have your ad in 4 months before you want it to go to press. With us, it's about 5 weeks.
5 weeks, really? That much in advance?
Yeah, you have to. So we ask people out there, please, if you want to get an article in or you want to advertise with us, whatever it is, get it in there in time.
Well, you do a lot for the local community when you highlight the events like the Jungle Club's 25th anniversary, like Habitat, and other altruistic things you do. It's amazing. People would not suspect that Mr. Red Palmer's doing an altruistic thing, but you do a lot of it.
I'm surprised you would say that because people are not aware that I am not a billionaire. And I have been buying.
Oh my God!
I have been buying this time. I sublease this time from Clear Channel from 6 until noon every day. And in 22 years, a detective came in here and said, "How many interviews have you done?" I said, "I don't know." So he figured it out mathematically. It's well over 40,000 interviews over 22 years.
Wow.
And that's why sometimes you run into people in the street, they might think you're arrogant or something. I'm sorry, I don't remember you. But
well, you know, I can remember some interviews you have done. But then why do I remember? Because to me, it's a highlight. It's one thing that happened to me, but you're doing them every day.
Yeah.
And
it's not that you don't appreciate them. It's just that you got to move on to the next, on to the next.
Right.
But we've had multiple charities. So if you say at least out of 40,000, I would say 10,000 of those interviews have been gifts, which you didn't even take a tax deduction for, giving to whatever charities are locally. So really, not only does the magazine is more apparent now, but
Quail Valley Charities just gave $11,000 to the local community. That's highlighted in your magazine. Push pins. Tell us about push pins.
Pushpin is a self-indulgent page. It's my page. I get to, if I have.
You have a self-indulgent?
Yeah.
It's hard to believe.
So I have a poem that particularly moves me, or I've met a celebrity or a star or the governor or whatever it might be I'm doing that month. We put a little push pin in there, like a photograph or something, and it's just a little, the highlights of the previous month.
Well, that's great.
Yeah.
Now, your feedback on your cover, you've had some very interesting covers. This one, this issue is interesting, but there are so many. There was the one of the high school.
Yeah, the high school, the seats that they're redoing now. And I think why that was so popular is because there were hundreds and hundreds of people in that cover. So they're going, oh, there's Aunt Bessie and Uncle Jim. Oh, there's us. And what are they going to do? They're going to tell 200 people, there's my Aunt Bessie, there's my Uncle Jim, and there I am. So
Right.
200 times, 500 people, that's a bunch of people. So it was an extremely popular issue.
And you've had a lot
On the
of
football team.
Now, the reason we're doing this this week is
I
because
had no
last
idea.
week we did another magazine, and you said, "Wait,
Oh,
hey, how about my magazine?"
hey.
So here we are, and
Yeah, Carrie Firth, who does a great job every year.
and you have since
20 years. Dr. Inides, 16 years, Treasure Coast Dermatology. Tommy from Route 60 Hyundai, 16 years, I think it is.
How does this work? If I want to advertise with you on the radio, do I have an opportunity to be in the magazine as well? Or is that
Absolutely. Just have to promise me your firstborn.
Oh, well, I understand that, but
Go around him. Talk to us.
so up until now, you've been doing very well.
Yeah,
And
easily,
being
yeah.
interviewed.
Pay the rent.
But in your interview this morning, I know you were a little nervous,
Yeah.
but that's okay. You seem to have gotten over that.
All right.
Now,
Oh, this interview.
this interview, yes, the one you're in.
Oh, this interview. Okay. Well,
We want to give yourself a little round of applause. Give Red a little round of applause for doing an outstanding job. It was so hard to coax him out into doing something like that. It's just unbelievable. Now, name a few of these people that have been with you. You mentioned a few.
Sandy, Carl.
with you.
Oh, the hospital. Oh, yeah. The hospital's been with the magazine.
Uh-huh.
Yep. They've been in and out of the radio show for 20 years.
But you forgive them for that.
Yeah.
And your creativity, it comes from you a lot. Do
What do
you
you mean?
think? Well, the idea of the cover. Where do we get the idea for the cover this
Actually, that was a collective as a group. The group meets in here. We'll get Patty Wiesart, who's in sales. We'll get Sandy Carlisle will drive up here. Barbara will be here. Ron will be here. Kathy Cooper, superstar, who works with us, she'll be there. She's right over there. Do you see that lady?
I see that.
And there's there's Elizabeth will be here. Elizabeth Mosier. The whole group. We come together and discuss.
This is a professional
Laura.
team you put together.
Professional team.
Barbara and Sandy and Doolin Dalton does your movie reviews.
Yeah, Doolin's been doing, for years, Chuck Cannon has done them. This season he got too busy, he had to back off. He'll be writing some again this summer. But Doolin Dalton he's an amazingly creative, gifted individual. I mean, with a name like that, I really should sign up and be his agent because I think someday he's going to be a major star. Well, look at that name, Doolin Dalton.
Okay, we'll be right back with Rhett Palmer and talk more about his magazine, Vero's Voice. Be right back, folks.
Whether listing your home or looking to
All right, y'all did good. Now, with us being on YouTube, we have to watch what we're doing here.
Because you're still on.
Hi. They know what I do.
Yeah, Chuck has been saying for years we should do that. I don't know how many viewers we have, but
Well,
it'll grow, I guess.
yeah, well, Eric Flowers has been doing it, and, I think it's good.
The cool thing about what's going on now is you can't no BS. When I post something the other day, did you see that beautiful red rose I posted on Facebook? Are you my friend on Facebook?
I am, but I didn't see it. You showed it to me in your,
What do you want to talk about?
You know your password for radio rep 1 and
Don't-
email?
we're live. Why don't you walk out there?
Radio Rep 1.
cleaning tile and grout.
The Barbara knows.
Listen,
Barbara knows?
But she might want to just tell you, and then you can type it in. She doesn't want other people to know than better having the password. Call her, she'll know. 538-2718. That's her number. 538-2718.
Here's
What else do you want to talk about?
Shane.
You're funny.
What else do you want to
Both
talk
of you
about?
guys are funny if you have to give me Barbara's number.
Oh,
I contact her almost on a daily
Okay.
basis.
okay.
All right, what do we talk about?
Talk about
My sexual life.
No. In the front of the book, you left out Laura.
Oh, Laura.
Yeah.
Said Laura, I love her.
Okay.
Said Laura, I need her.
And Bigsby.
keep focused on what we're doing here.
Yes,
We're,
sir.
we're talking about the Vero's magazine.
Yes, sir.
Come up with some more information about the magazine. What do you want to talk about?
Well, people are reading it online now.
Okay.
Amazing.
Online.
We actually have advertisers who have never seen the physical
Okay.
magazine. I'm talking about distribution.
Okay, we're back with Rhett Palmer talking about his magazine, Vero's Voice magazine. When I say his, I mean his and Barbara's. And
Actually
they
belongs to the whole team, yep.
belongs to the whole team. The whole team contributes. And
Sam Walton said individuals don't succeed, teams do it. You know that, Mr. Walsh.
and you're now people who get it online. How do they get it online?
They go to www.verosvoice.com and they can sign up, and it's automatically by constant contact or by MailChimp is mailed to their email box. And simply amazing. I would say 25% of our readership now has moved over to online.
How many readers do you have about?
Between 17 and 21,000 readers. It's distributed at all the Publix supermarkets, which we have to pay for. It's also available at CJ Cannon's. It's also the restaurant at the airport. It's available at Classic Car Wash, US 1 American Mile, Mark's Hair Place, Mark's Hair Salon.
You have two
Hair
marks. You
Salon.
have Mark at the car wash and Mark at the hair
Yeah,
salon.
Mark's Hair Salon. Also, you're at Studio 95. Also at the beach, we have the Village Beach Market. Also, the post office on the beach. We have a thing there, a little box, outside box.
David Walsh.
David Walsh Real Estate, and about 403 other doctors' offices.
doctors and attorneys. You have some attorneys
Yep.
too, I guess.
Yep.
And a lot of
All the waiting
professional
rooms.
offices around the county. Now, if a person wants to advertise with you, how do they put the ad together? I mean, do they have to come to you and bring their ad, or do you work
No,
with them and
there's-
make?
No, we pay for that cost. We have Sandy, our graphic artist, and they would
Uh-huh.
deal with her, and she's a gem to deal with. Everybody loves her. And as you know, she does excellent work. So we just hammer out an idea of what they want to promote, who their target audience is, and keep it simple. Hopefully have a lot of white space. Don't overdo it. Don't try to fill in your ad with too much information.
They're tasteful ads, I noticed that.
That's the goal.
And so if I come to you, you're going to put an ad together for me in color in your magazine.
Yeah, and you of course get to choose. You can deny or accept it.
Well, we certainly have the right to approve what we're going to pay.
That's right.
And do we have an opportunity? In other words, if I advertise in your magazine, do I automatically get on the radio, or is that a separate thing?
It's real. You can buy a package. You can buy radio, or you can buy the magazine, or you can buy both. If people buy both, they usually get a special deal, combo deal.
What about Facebook?
Oh, yeah, that's a whole new thing we're doing because, totally got about 9,000 followers. So 5,000 on Rhett Palmer, 4,800 and something like that. It's almost 5,000. And then we've got, I don't know, 1,400 on the Mayor of the Airwaves or Rhett Palmer Community. Then we've got Instagram. Then we've got Vero's Voice.
You're cutting edge, Rhett.
Show.
You are there.
Well, we have some new things coming up here.
Even more.
Yeah.
And right now we're on YouTube. You guys are broadcasting on the radio.
Wait till you see what happens next.
Oh boy, I can't wait till tomorrow because everything gets better every day.
That's right. Larry Reisman said I was destined for greatness.
No question about that, huh? Well, I really appreciate you being interviewed, Rhett, because you have taught me so much. I've just been taken off the street.
He's saying this tongue in cheek.
No, I've taken off the street, a homeless man, and brought into by
Hey, Burt's Bees? Burt's Bees started off in Maine.
Really?
He collected bees and started making lip balm and other things from beeswax. Well, anyway, this lady was living in a tent. It's a true story. You can rent the documentary. This lady was living in a tent. He took her in. They started to grow nationally. He got tired of the whole thing. She said, well, just sign this paper and I'll just run the company. She ran the company, sold it for $82 million, and Bert got
Is that what's in it? Are you,
nothing.
what's that got to do with Vero's Voice? Anything?
It had to do with something you just said about.
Oh, okay. Well, so, but you have 21 reviews of your magazine, and 20 out of the 21 are 5-star reviews. Only one was a 4-star review.
You're kidding. Where'd you find this? I didn't see this.
Always loved the magazine, says Beverly Hostler. To my amazement, I was so impressed with the friendly greeting I received when I entered their office. Rhett and his staff make you feel like old friends. Anna Wheeler says, love this magazine. Good reading and the photos are just the best. James Chapman Nelson, great magazine, has great articles about people and events in Vero Beach. Everyone should read this magazine. Keep that great coverage up, Rhett. That's a wonderful testimonials for you, Rhett.
Wow, yeah.
And
we managed to fool a few people.
well, for 23 years, you've been doing it on the radio, and now you have this professional magazine, which is a little more professional than the radio. It's under, there's a strict.
What are you trying to say between the lines?
Well, you're kind of freewheeling on the radio.
Hey, you know what? Look at with those glasses on. He looks like that guy from the Muppets, doesn't he?
Yeah,
the one with the mustache.
That's true.
I'm staying out of this.
Turn this back on me. But I'll tell you what, the photographs are truly stunning. I look at this photograph not only on the cover of the polo, but the polo match is pictured inside with a host of runners going right towards you. I don't know how they did that. That must have been with the photo lens quite a bit away.
Yeah,
Because it looks like they're coming right at you.
Well, I had nothing to do with that. That's scale.
But you have everything to do with it, right? Because you're the man that started the magazine. Oh, you're so modest.
I'm not modest, this is the truth.
I hate to see this modesty in you.
Hey, did you see that? Look at that, look at that picture of Charlie.
Charlie Rafogel, the owner of the Ocean Grill.
Gave me a great interview.
And he gave you an interview. He's been around for a little while, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's been a sponsor of the show for 20-something years.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and now the magazine, yeah, he's
Well, I said,
buddy of Charlie.
if I was ever owned a restaurant.
And Mary.
If I
his
ever
wife.
owned a restaurant, I would definitely have you.
And tell them why, Mr. Walsh.
Because you love food.
I'm a
And you know all
man
about
with
it.
an appetite.
They can tell you the best dish of every restaurant in town.
Like
This
the Prime.
restaurant has dole.
Have you been to the Prime? Oh, that's where you took me there. Remember what I had?
Yeah.
Liver and onions.
Really?
Very
It
good.
was a very good. Tell me
You
what's.
want to go out to lunch? I don't know if they're open for lunch.
What about, tell me something about the tides. What's their best
Oh,
dish?
the tides is the swordfish is the best I perhaps ever had in my life. It comes from the cold, cold waters up near Iceland. And that's why it's so special. Typical swordfish, okay. Swordfish from the icy cold waters, it's melting in your mouth. And I tell you what, that's those chefs over there, Chef Leanne, who's the owner,
How
and that
about-
other fellow, Bruce from
What's the
England.
best dish at the patio?
The best dish at the patio. Well, it could be the bananas Foster. Got me fired from my last coach.
Oh, no.
They have a very good clam chowder there. They have a very good hamburger.
You love the hamburger. You've
Yeah.
extolled the virtues of the hamburger
Now-
more than once.
CJ Cannon's has the best. You get the eggs on the English muffin with
Benedict.
Eggs
Benedict.
Benedict.
Eggs Benedict I've ever had. Now, I've done some shows from, there have been times, very graciously, but they treat the press nice because you're going to do a report. They'll put me up in, presidential suite or whatever, and you get breakfast in bed, and they'll bring you Eggs Benedict. And I can say this, that the best Eggs Benedict I've ever had, even better than the Waldorf Astoria in New York City, is,
CJ Cannon.
and I mean that, check it out. It is delicious. Their eggs are always done really, their breakfast is just wonderful. Their prime rib is consistently great at night. Melts in your mouth. Matter of fact, I think I may go get a piece for lunch today.
So, Rhett's,
Getting me hungry.
on one page is Rhett's pushpins, shows Governor Rick Scott awarding the Medal of Heroism to the two deputies that saved that woman.
Yes, those two
very
deputies were right in here. Matter of fact, their mother was on the air today, the mother of the man.
Really?
Yes, Susie Sunkel, yes.
So
She's the one that also sells me the Shackley shakes that keep me in shape.
Uh-huh.
I had one of those this morning. That's all I've had, so I'm hungry. But I will resist having sandwiches for lunch. I will have a piece of beef or chicken. We're out of time, Mr. Walsh.
We're out of time. No, we have time. We have time to talk a little bit more about Vero's Voice magazine. How can I contact you to advertise?
772-473-7777, 473-7777. First person to call me now will get a discount.
Bye-bye. All right. How was it?
That was good. You did good. You had notes.
He
Copious
always
notes.
does.
Yeah.
David, he really does his research.
Okay, now you want me to do this? I'll do it.
Yeah. Press that button, don't.
I have a little commercial intro to do.
What we want.
Okay.
It's
Now, what we want to do here is, do you have the versions up on
we got through it.
You did.
like the ones that have?
You didn't say anything.
I did a little talking, but that's fine. He was on task pretty much.
Pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
Somewhere.
Well, there are not notes in this account, and nobody knows the password to this account. So far.
Yes, sir.
So Bananas Foster where?
Bananas Foster was at the patio.
That was actually very enjoyable. Little tidbit. I was listening the last 10 minutes or so driving in. So
Good.
that was good. Brett knows the hooties.
Oh, he sure does.
How you doing, sir?
Good, very good. You?
Oh, hanging in there, man. That's trying to learn how to run a little less ragged, man. I run too ragged.
How's
the real estate market treating you?
Good.
But let's say
So how's Bureau doing right now? I mean, is it what's the real
Values
estate
are
market?
coming up, and it's not spectacular, but it's steady.
Hey,
What's up, brother?
what are you doing here?
Oh, well, you got me hungry for eggs Benedict. I feel like.
Oh, you're listening outside or where in the
I,
back?
I was listening on the drive-in. Yeah.
Oh,
so I was just driving in.
He Dave wanted to interview me.
So yeah, it was good.
So now you have to have me on your show sometime.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
you gotta keep up, man.
That's right. So,
All right, we're ready?
Actually, you ought to see if he wants a professional intro by you.
Listen, just do this what I'm doing right now. Let's forget.
Okay. But
You ready?
listen to him do this. I don't know, ask Shane. Press that button and ask him.
Ready, Shane?
Just a minute, he's on the phone with Barbara. Just give him a minute, please. No.
yeah.
Brett. Who's that?
David Brooks, and he has a show in here every week, financial.
Oh, yeah.
But actually, that's a great idea to have you do. Ask him, say, do you want to do some, just have.
I don't want to ask him. Let him ask me. I'm not looking
I'm
for
asking.
business.
I'm asking.
Okay.
He's very good at what he does, too.
Brett, do you have your phone on you?
No, all my phones, he has possession of all my
Okay.
phones.
All your phones? How many phones do you have?
Can you check your phone for a code? Because then if you can give me that code that just got sent to your phone, I give it to Barbara and she can reset your password.
Okay, there's supposed to be a code that was just sent to my phone.
That was for a different account.
That was for
We can do that again for this account.
Well, no, Barbara just tried to reset the password for the radio
That
right
account.
now. Yes,
Okay.
and supposedly it was like a code 1201. Okay. So,
Well, she's gonna change it.
okay.
Oh, make sure you write down the change in there on a new page,
Yeah, I'll tell her she's gonna-
what it's for.
Okay, you ready?
I don't suppose y'all want to have lunch with me.
Have dinner with you. The farmers are home.
Tonight I'm booked for dinner. I'm going to dinner with Dr. Olenek. But I'd love to have dinner with you still.
Plastic surgeon.
If you can wait to eat till 1 o'clock, I'd love to buy you lunch. I'm taking David Melnick out tomorrow. It's his birthday in town today.
Yeah,
so
you want to do lunch?
yeah, you want
Let's
to
get
lunch?
this thing going real quick.
So I'm
Sure.
gonna fire off my show here in a few minutes.
Yeah, but you're not taking me, I'll take you.
So now we're gonna fight over who's taking who.
You can take me when you're in your territory
Okay.
with Barbara. I'll take when you're down here, because I get the deals,
Tell Barbara to figure out what she changes that
I'm not gonna have somebody pay cash.
So,
you know what I mean?
Do you have any training programs for new agents? The reason I ask is my wife is gonna be taking her exam here. She just passed the end of course exam for real estate.
Really?
And gonna get back. She was a realtor about 10 years
Are you gonna
ago.
move down here?
We are really considering it.
Oh, you
Looking
need
in the either Sebastian or North Vero area so that I'm convenient. I'm moving my Rockledge office to downtown Melbourne so that I'm only gonna be, 35 minutes or so. in
Old
between
time,
them.
you mean old time downtown?
Yeah,
I love
so,
that area.
and
Yeah,
yeah,
great area.
well, and that's where I've got, the bulk of my clients are there in Melbourne Beach up in that county. So my office is way up in
Now,
Rockledge.
Barbara, now I always
So-
think when I think of Melbourne, I think blue collar. But Barbara used to date a very wealthy guy.
I can tell you, I have two clients. My largest client lives in Jupiter, but I have two clients in Melbourne that, over 10 million each. And there's a ton of people in Melbourne with 10, 20, 30 million dollars, way more than people
500
realize.
retired CEOs here.
Yeah, well, I know, it's nothing like the 329 Johns Island zip code.
Oh, I want to ask you this. You're a sponsor of the show. You have been for years. You are. What have I had? I'm thinking about joining this networking group. There's one over here called BNI.
Yeah, I did BNI for 7
Okay,
years.
well, we're thinking of joining this one here. Matter of fact, I think we met you through BNI.
Yeah, correct.
I paid the money up there.
Yeah, that's how I met
But-
Keith originally,
okay.
which brought
So-
me in. Yeah.
So I was thinking, why not have maybe once a quarter? I have the Rhett Palmer luncheon. And I guess I'd have to pay for it. I don't know. But get all my people together and that'd be a gift to and they can all help each other. What do you think?
That's a good idea.
The only thing is, they could all get together and they could team up on me. Yeah, we've all decided unless you lower the rates, we're cutting out.
Unionize on your ass.
I go, oh my word, I never should have thought of this. The only thing is I
Are
have
you
to.
ready?
Somebody
Ready, okay. Good morning, listeners. You're attuned to Rhett Palmer, Mayor of the Airwaves, now into his 23rd year as an on-air radio personality. The morning mayor has his finger on the pulse of what's going on so he can inform, entertain, and interest you, his listening audience. Red is heard nationally on iHeartRadio and seen on YouTube as Vero's voice. Now, here is the award-winning mayor of the airwaves, the man himself, Rhett Palmer. Okay?
Applause.
Very good. Don't lose that. That'll be on your computer, right? If we ever have to redo it. Okay, he's got to do his show and then we'll go to lunch.
Okay.
Oh,
Good luck, good.
Thank you, sir.
see, you,
I think it's a red on there.
Well, so yeah, we're looking in the, North Bureau
you have to do
area.
a full hour or do you do four? So you do,
I do four, I crank out like 4 11-minute segments.
let's go, okay.
I go quick.
Mr. Brooks is ready for his close-up, Mr. What's that?
Shane.
You ready to go?
I need some more.
Well, I'll get your water. I'll get your water.
Really, people? It takes me time to do stuff.
No, it doesn't.
Calm down, people.
We thought you were a
Working
professional.
As fast as possible here.
This is the voice
This
of
is great.
Dad.
This is great. I love to see other people putting him under pressure, not just me. There you go, good sir. Open that up for you.
That's enough evil laughter out of you.
I'm gonna go laugh.